Hey guys, what's up? It's Tarkan back with another video. I have a comment that I want to reply to, and I don't have my laptop right in front of me right now. As you can tell, I'm hanging out in the kitchen. But I'm going to paraphrase, and I don't remember exactly who left the comment, so I apologize for that. But I'm sure if you watch this video, you'll know who you are. You left that comment a few videos back. And basically the question was about visualizing. What's the best way to visualize? And specifically, if I remember the question correctly, it had to do with the idea of visualizing as a first person versus visualizing as in the third person, right? So, and she was saying that, a lot of coaches tell me the best way or the correct way to visualize is in the first person as opposed to the third person. And why is that? And what's the difference really? Okay. Well, first of all, just to explain that a little bit, when we're talking about first person visualizing versus third person visualizing, what we're dealing with is sort of seeing the scene from inside your body. In other words, just the way that you look at the world from inside your body, right? You can't really see your whole person. You're sort of looking out from behind your eyes, right? And so you can see your hands maybe as you look out, maybe you can see the tip of your nose or something like that, right? But basically the idea is it's sort of like a first person shooter game, right? Where you kind of see like the gun and things like that, but you can't see the entire figure, right? So that's kind of like your first person perspective is just how you go through the world, right? So, and then third person would just be like, sort of just watching the scene as a spectator, as a viewer, right? And sort of sitting back, but also seeing yourself in the scene completely. Like you're watching yourself and the other person or the other people involved in the scene, like on a movie screen, like you'd be watching two actors in a movie, right? Going back and forth. So you can see them interacting. You see yourself interacting with the person. So you're kind of like just sitting back as an audience member watching yourself interacting with this person or these people, okay? So that's pretty much kind of the difference between first person visualizing and third person visualizing, right? Now, I've heard similar things about which is the best way to do it, which is the correct way to do it, or one of them being the incorrect way to do it. But really, honestly, guys, I'll tell you something. I disagree with those guys, those coaches that say this is the correct way to do it and this is the incorrect way to do it. But mainly because I just think we shouldn't be overthinking this kind of stuff. Okay. And I know I've guarded against that before. I've lectured about that before in other videos where I say, listen, don't overthink this visualizing and affirming and these techniques so much, right? They're not magic bullets. Like I said in another video, it was actually called Techniques Aren't Magic Bullets, right? So basically you just want to kind of guard against overthinking this process so much. The idea isn't so much that you're acting this scene out so the universe can see you do it so it knows what you want, right? Because it already knows what you want, okay? What you want is already done. It's already out there in that infinite field of possibilities. But basically what it's for is to get yourself into the feeling state of having that thing, of being in that scene, of living out your desire already so that you can feel like you're that person that you would feel like if you had your desire in physical reality and if you were perceiving of it and living it with your physical senses, you see. That's all it is. It's just a method to get you to practice that feeling state, all right? Which is why it's important to just kind of ease into it and let yourself do it in a way that feels right to you, okay? That's really as simple as it gets, guys, because if you're overthinking it, all right? If you go into the process thinking, well, how am I going to do this? Is this the right way to do it? Is this the wrong way to do it? I don't want to mess it up, right? Because if I mess it up, then maybe this will never happen. Because from that perspective, you're actually already operating with the mindset of it's not happening. It's not happening for me. So your focus isn't on how what you want is already a done deal and you just have to move yourself into being able to perceive of it and receive it, right? Moving yourself into alignment with it. But really what's going on is you're hyper-focused on trying to make it happen. I need to take action so I can get from over here to over there, right? So, and that's what it comes down to. That's why most people approach these techniques with that kind of mindset, and that's why they tend to backfire. And it's not like if you do it wrong, that means that your desire won't come to you, your manifestation won't work, right? It's just that if you do it wrong, quote unquote, in other words, if it doesn't feel right to you or you're forcing it too much because you're too worried for an outcome, right? You're too much into the idea of having that outcome. I need to have that outcome. then you're just not going to feel in alignment with that thing that you want. And that's what you're really reaching for. So really it comes down to, you know, whatever it takes for you to get into alignment with it, for you to be okay with it, for you to at the very least calm down enough and not need and want this thing so badly, right? That you're, like I said, you're trying to get from over here to over there so badly because you feel being over here where you are now is just not cool. I don't feel happy. I don't feel complete. I don't feel all right with myself. Then you're never going to get over there anyway from that perspective, right? You'll just be kind of stuck in this loop like people feel, right? Or basically what you're doing is just recreating the same thing over and over again, right? So you want to break that pattern by just, first of all, calming down, okay? First of all, you just want to get calm. So if you're feeling very anxious about needing to be over there, needing to get what you want right away, first learn to become okay with where you are. And always remember and tell yourself this too, I don't need to be over there so badly right now because where I am here, where I am is on the way to being over there, you see? So I'm always on my path. That's something that you could affirm and tell yourself, for instance, to kind of calm yourself down a little bit and center yourself a little bit so you don't feel this need to constantly be taking action to get away from where you are. Because that's what most of us do with this manifesting stuff, right? Especially when you first come to this stuff, you just so badly want to get away from where you are. So like I say, there's actually two reasons. I always say there's one reason why you want what you want. Actually, there's two reasons, but it's the same thing basically, right? First, you want to be where you want what you want because of how you anticipate you're going to feel when you have that thing, all right? And secondly, you want what you want because you so badly want to get away from where you are now. So you're either looking for a feeling state or you're trying to get away from a feeling state, right? I'm trying to get away from feeling lonely. I'm trying to get away from feeling anxious. I'm trying to get away from being depressed and sad and unhappy. And I want to be over there where I'm happy, where I'm confident, where things are working out for me, where things are easy, right? So, but the trick here really, guys, is that you need to feel like you're over there now. You need to be okay with where you are now. You need to not try to get away from where you are so badly, so desperately. Okay, because from that perspective, when you're calm, then you can ease into a scene like that, like a visualizing scene, and you'll feel great, and it'll be like daydreaming. Remember when you were a kid and you were just daydreaming, right? Remember how easy that felt, right? Remember just how fun that was. Maybe you're sitting in math class and the last thing you want to be doing is focusing on math and sitting in math class, right? That was always me, okay? I was never that good at math. I just don't, I didn't have that patience, right? I wanted to be at home playing with my toys or watching that movie or playing with my friends after school. I was always somewhere else. And now it's even harder when it's like a nice day outside and you're stuck in this classroom. You want to be anywhere except where you are. But as a kid, it was easy for us to drift kind of, into some scene or just go there in our minds and daydream, right? That's the sort of like, until the teacher snaps you back to attention and goes, hey, pay attention to what's going on here. Stop daydreaming. But you're like, no, I'm over there. You're living it in that daydream. You're feeling it. You're in that scene. And maybe you've got a little goofy smile on your face while you're doing it, right? Because you're not so concerned anymore with the environment you're physically in or the place you're physically in, and you're now putting all your focus and attention on this place you'd rather be, right? So even like when I say, hey, just visualize being on a nice beach on a nice breezy sunny day and just feel the calmness of that and listen to the sound of the waves and feel the wind, blowing over you and that kind of thing. So you want to immerse yourself in this scene. So in other words, whichever way you do it, whether it's, in a first person's perspective or in a third person perspective, really doesn't matter. Not as far as I'm concerned. The only thing that really matters is that you do it in such a way that it feels real for you, that it feels fun for you. It should be enjoyable, okay? So you should never really go into it overthinking it too much, trying to figure out too much. Like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? Because that indicates neediness. I need to be over there. I need something to be different. So I have to do this thing. I have to do this visualization to get over there instead of saying, hey, you know what? Everything's cool right now. I'm just going to ease into it. Okay. And I always urge people that before you do like, something like visualizing or scripting, that you calm down first. You breathe, you do some little meditation first. Just get yourself centered and calm down first. And just sit there or lie there in a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you want. Keep them open if you want, whatever works for you. And just let the scene kind of come together in your mind. Let your mind kind of just wander off in that direction a little bit and see what comes back, okay? And if you find yourself in a scene where you're visualizing it as the third person, and you're kind of seeing yourself and your specific person up there on the screen, then go ahead and just live the scene that way, okay? Visualize it that way. And if you find yourself being more in your first person perspective, then go ahead and do that as well, okay? So whatever feels right to you. You don't have, there's really no wrong way to do this. The only thing I would say is that there's an effective way and a less effective way to do it. But that doesn't come down to what perspective you're taking on while you're visualizing. That comes down to how you're feeling going into it, okay? And with what intention you're going into it, okay? So again, to reiterate, if you're going into it with the intention that you need something to be different right now, otherwise you're not going to feel cool, you're not going to feel okay, and you're just going to be unhappy and miserable, and you're impatient because you want to be over there so badly, that's not the time to visualize. That's the time to go do something else, all right? So, but when you're feeling calm and you're like, hey, you know what? You know what would be cool right now? If I just went into a scene, if I visualized a little bit, that would be really cool right now. Let's just lie down. Let's just relax. Let's take some deep breaths. Let's just figure out, ooh, what feels good? Oh, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. Oh, look, the two of us are like, 5 years down the road, we're celebrating our wedding anniversary and we're taking a fun trip somewhere, or we're having a nice dinner, or we're having a nice night in, or it's just a calm, just ease yourself into the scene and give yourself the time and the space to do that, okay? And don't force it so much. If you're finding it difficult to do, chances are you're putting too much resistance into it, right? Chances are you're clinging on a little too hard to the thing. Then just pull back, and you don't have to do it every day. You don't have to do it this way or that way. Just make sure it feels good. It feels easy to do, right? And that it's fun to be in there. So, and if it ever isn't, again, go do something else, okay? Give yourself permission to do that. Or at the very least, 𝗙Con is giving you permission right now to not visualize every day, to not try to force it so much, to not try to push so hard, okay? What you want is already done, guys. So don't overthink it so much. Feel your way into it. Again, this is not an intellectual process manifesting. It's a feeling process, all right, guys? So once you kind of get that, once you pay more attention to how you're feeling on the inside, this is the most important stuff, how you feel. That's it, okay? And I know some guys out there, some of you have left comments over the months or whatever, saying, well, I don't want to feel that right now, or I just want to have it. And it's like, but you're not going to get it that way, okay? If you feel like I'm pushing, I need to be over there, because chances are, if that's how you're operating, if you're operating from a place of, I'm unhappy here, I can only be happy over there, you might even get over there, you'll still not be happy. Okay? This is like when people go, I want money, then they get money, and then there's still some hole that they have to fill all the time. Always trying to stuff up a hole, right? Or getting away from a feeling state, or getting away from a circumstance or a situation. That's not how you manifest, okay? You got to become okay first. You got to become calm first. So don't use these things as these magic bullets and these magic buttons, and only if I visualize this way, only if I visualize that way, things are going to work out for me, okay? What's going to make all the difference is when you just chill out. That's what's going to make all the difference, guys. And I can't stress that enough, okay? Well, I can say it here until I'm blue in the face, all right? I can't make you do it. That's the part where you're going to have to put up a little bit of effort, okay? It's not going to be easy at first to just calm down, especially if you've been operating from such a tense place for so long. You've been practicing that kind of focus for so long. It's not going to be easy to make that shift all the time or right away. But that's okay, all right? Let that be okay for now. You don't need to make it right away and need to make it work now. Practice your way into it, ease your way into it, all right? And use this opportunity when you're visualizing or scripting, when you're really getting into it, use it as an opportunity to practice that feeling state that you're after. Because I guarantee you, that's what you're really after. And the thing that you've now used, this person or that thing or that pile of money or that trip or that car or that house or whatever it is, you're using it as a symbol to achieve that feeling state and to achieve a connection with yourself and with that source within you. That's what it is, okay? So you want it to come through that person, through this channel. It can and it will, the moment you understand where to put your attention. It's not going to be on them. It's going to be right here on that feeling state you're trying to achieve right now. And I promise you, when you do that, when you practice it enough, you'll start to see the shift and the changes in your external environment. And you'll start to see how your relationship with them is also shifting and changing according to the shift you're making internally. That's all it is, okay? So don't worry so much about the process and how to do it and how many times. Okay, I want you to just throw all that stuff out the window. It's done. That's not how you're going to operate anymore. You're going to operate like a magician now, like a wizard, okay? You're going to operate like a conscious, deliberate creator. And you're going to hone your patience, you're going to hone your focus, and you're going to practice your way into it, okay? And you'll get there. And you'll know you're getting there when it feels more and more natural to do, when it gets easier and easier to do day by day by day. When you're not forcing it, you're not pushing it, okay? So also, if you're new to visualizing and all that stuff, and you want to really try it out, do it for 30 seconds. Do it for a minute. Don't try to do an hour. And if I do 5 hours, then it's more effective. If I do 10 hours, it's more, whatever it is. If I repeat 200 affirmations, it's better than repeating one affirmation. No, just ease into it. Just like if you start meditating for the first time, don't push it so much, okay? Just baby steps, guys, baby steps, all right? Be patient. Remember, you don't have to get away from where you are so much. Where you are is always on the way to where you want to be. You're on the path, okay? Just trust that, all right? And calm down, okay? All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. I hope that helped you. I hope that answered your question. Hope you like my kitchen. I figured I should mix up the background a little bit, right? You can see all my cool decorations that I've collected over the years. I like these old tin signs with the old sort of vintage advertisements. It's just a thing of mine. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, if you like the cut of my jib, please subscribe. If you haven't done so already, please hit like, please comment, and please share, okay? Share with others who you think might benefit from this message. Also, if you want to donate, you can do that down below in the description box. You can find coaching information down there if that's what you're interested in. And also make sure you join the Facebook group. There's a link for that down there as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, I'm 𝗙𝗏, and until next time, happy manifesting, and bye-bye.